Hey everyone, it's BuzzRail96 here. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another Train Sim World news video. Today I thought I'd take a look at one of the, well, it's not really new, it's familiar, but it's kind of new at the same time. Routes that is coming as part of the Train Sim World 6 package. You could either get this route separately or via one of their editions, the standard edition, deluxe edition, that hideous special edition which costs well over £100. I don't know why people would bother paying that amount of money for it, but there you go. The route in question is one of the most popular German routes in Train Sim World. Nürburgring Dresden is getting an extension and upgrade. So a little bit of history about the extension to this route. So built in the late 1830s, the Leipzig to Dresden Railway was the first long-distance line in Germany and one of the oldest in the country. Over time, the line earned a reputation for being one of the busiest, as well as its age meant it has seen many improvements to keep up with demand. Today, it is a modern commuter network and LZB-equipped intercity line in one. Fast services beat the regional traffic through the use of separate lines that each take a different path through the Saxony countryside, and the outskirts of Dresden are served by frequent commuter services. Though seasoned Train Sim World players may feel that they know half this route already from the Nürburgring Dresden add-on, which launched in 2021, the doubling of length to Leipzig and the addition of the Dresden to Coswig line more than doubles the possible gameplay and, importantly, services available across the expanded route in Train Sim World 6. The total route length is at 160 kilometers. Other key additions to this route, of course, the 65-kilometer extension from Riesa to Leipzig. That includes 20 new stations. Another new addition, the 13-kilometer Dresden to Coswig line, which I mentioned. The Friedrichstadt marshalling yard, a new green stripe variant of the DBBR 411 ICET. Whoopee. New platform and passenger announcements, new random events in service mode, and new train faults, which you can alter in the settings menu if you want to turn some of those new, they say core features, but at the moment it's not really core features. I classify them as root features. Only one of the new features is going to be compatible with previous Train Sim World content, which is the new train fault mechanic. Back to the list. The DBBR 442 Talent 2 will feature suspension updates, and crucially, all players of Bahnstrecke Leipzig Dresden will receive entitlements to the previously released Nürburgring Dresden, adding even more trains to their roster and preserving service layers applicable to other European routes in their collection. The old Nürburgring Dresden route add-on will not be available to purchase separately for Train Sim World 6, so I presume once Train Sim World 6 launches, Nürburgring Dresden will be deleted from all the online stores that currently has Nürburgring Dresden, so PlayStation, Xbox, the Steam Store, the Epic Game Store. One thing I would like to see clarified is if people already own Nürburgring Dresden and they want to pick this route up like separately, for example, will that mean we players who own Nürburgring Dresden get the upgrade and extension for free, or do you have to pay for the route again like you had to do with the Long Island Railroad commuter? I hope not, but I have a very sneaky suspicion that might be the case because, Dovetail haven't said whether, if you've owned Nürburgring Dresden and you want to purchase this route separately, you get it for free. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Turning our attention to the trains, there is a wide variety of trains, not many new ones sadly, included in the Leipzig to Dresden route, covering a range of services such as high-speed passenger services, local passenger services, S-Bahn passenger services. Freight and shunting gameplay is all catered for, with additional trains available courtesy of the Nürburgring Dresden entitlement that all owners of this route will receive. We will start with what comes included with it. The headline act as a returning face the DBBR 411 ICET, complete with its impressive GNT technology. Now, I'm not going to explain too much about this train because I imagine a fair few people know what this is. The real difference with this particular train is that the 411 ICET comes in a new variant with a green stripe depicting Deutsche Bahn's campaign to become, I think, environmentally sustainable or carbon neutral by the end of the 2020s. The ICET included in Train Sim World 6 Leipzig-Dresden route. Players do not need to own previously released content to access this train. For DBBR 442 Talent 2, which was, I think, the headline act of the Nürburgring-Dresden route, this, I think, other than having new suspension physics, is exactly the same. The variant in Bahnstrecke Leipzig to Dresden is exactly the same sounds, same look. So pretty much when you operate it on this route, it'll be very familiar to the Nürburgring Dresden variant. It comes equipped with PZB and CIFA and all that kind of stuff. Moving on to some freight, the main traction, I would say, for the freight is the DBBR 185.5 electric locomotive, part of Bombardier's Trax locomotives. The DBBR 185.5 has a top speed of 140 kilometers per hour or 87 miles per hour. You get two versions with this, one in Deutsche Bahn traffic red livery and a MRCE variant, which was part of Nürburgring Dresden. Let's go back to the passenger side of things. We've got the DBBR 146.2 and the Dosto coaches, Endwagen coaches and cab car. Pretty much exactly the same from Nürburgring Dresden. It's a bit of a shame we don't get anything new as far as coaches or even freight, wagons or tankers or anything like that. It's exactly the same as it is in Nürburgring Dresden. As far as additional trains, these are the DBBR 143 electric locomotive that does some freight services as well as passenger services, and also the DBBR 363 shunting locomotive. So if you can't or don't want to get the 294, you can just use the 363 instead for shunting services. And let's touch on the 294, which is a new locomotive, albeit it is a separate loco add-on and also part of the Digital Deluxe Edition. So the 294 was originally known as the V90 series. They were built in the 1960s and 70s as heavy shunting locomotives. Their weight and power made them suitable for shunting long trains, but also transporting wagons between different locations. In the 90s, a fleet overhaul saw 280 locomotives rebuilt and reclassified as the DBBR 294. Despite their age and with multiple locomotives retired in favour of new attraction, such as the Vossler G6, which is still one of the best German shunting locomotives in the game, and hopefully you could use that on this route to do some shunting, many 294s can still be found working hard today, holding on to local train duties and preparing long-distance freight for mainline traction to take onward. Their continuing commonality has made them a familiar sight across the length of Germany's oldest long-distance railway. In Bahnstrecke Leipzig to Dresden, the DBBR 294 will work to assemble freight consists in the various yards along the route, with some mainline running moves, moving trains between facilities. Given that prominence across Germany, players will get further use out of this locomotive by spawning it into other timetable modes in Train Sim World's large catalogue of German routes. That's good. So if you do get this, you can use it on other German routes where shunting is available. That is a thumbs up from me. The 294 comes equipped with the usual safety systems, PZB and CIFA. There is also a throttle lock that players will need to be mindful of when operating, which is highlighted by the driver assist prompts. And you can learn more about the operation of German railway safety systems in the training centre, if you want. The 294 will be available to purchase separately once Train Sim World 6 has been released on September the 30th. So, as far as the locomotives and the rolling stock, it is a little bit light in terms of juicy new things, other than the 294. Not much really to speak about. There's some tweaks here and there to some of them, but I think what we should have had is the ICE4. This would have been a perfect multiple unit to have been, let's say, the face of this route. I would personally think, of all the routes to debut the ICE4, this route would have been, brilliant, a brilliant place to run the ICE4. So it's such a shame that it's not included. Let's talk about what you can actually do on this route. We'll start with the timetable. An extensive and complex timetable has apparently been implemented to not only make use of the variety of trains from within the route, but also those from the wider German back catalogue in TrainSim World. The types of services available to operate on Bahnstrecke Leipzig to Dresden include ICET express services between Dresden and Leipzig, using the avoiding line in the east and LZB in the west. Regional services, Regional Express 50, Regional Bahn 31, Regional Express 15, Regional Express 18, with the DBBR Talent 2, which also operates local services towards Grosenheim and forms AI traffic at Leipzig and Riesa. The DBBR 143 will haul Dosto coaches and also have the cab car operating peak S1 and all S2 services. The DBBR 146.2, also with Dosto coaches and the Enwagen control car, will operate S1 and Regional Express 50 services. Multiple paths from Dresden to Riesa, followed by a high-speed dash to Leipzig. Freight trains using the DBBR 185.5, be it the Deutsche Bahn variant or the MRCE variant, will serve industries and the large Friedrichstadt yard, including locomotive swaps and trains heading out of the map towards the Czech Republic. The DBBR 363 will conduct shunting services available via the Nürnberger Dresden entitlement, and the deluxe edition, or players that choose to pick up the deluxe edition or the special edition will also be able to operate the DBBR 294 shunting and local freight services. As far as additional service layers are concerned, the DBBR 1442 Talent 2 from Rapid Transit. Blimey, it's been a while since I've said that. Rapid Transit, wow, the first German route in TrainSim World, may I add. That will offer playable S4 services from Leipzig Hauptbahnhof and AI traffic. The DBBR 642 from the Maintalbahn will offer playable and AI services. The DBBR 218 locomotive from TSG will conduct hauled services using Enwagen coaching stock, offering playable services and AI traffic at Leipzig. The Intercity Express 1 train from Kassel, Schnellfahrstrecke Kassel to Würzburg will add additional AI traffic at Leipzig. The original DBBR 101 locomotive add-on from Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr will run playable Intercity and Eurocity services, including locomotive swaps at Dresden that can utilize the Railpool BR193 Vectron locomotive. The DBBR 612 will conduct AI traffic at Dresden from the Taranto ramp. And finally, the DBBR 103 will have a rail tour playable. Of course, you will need the Link Rheinstrecke add-on. In addition, static stock that rotates throughout the in-game calendar year will appear at Leipzig Hauptbahnhof Platform 24, featuring trains from a wider range of add-ons. As a typical German route in TrainSim World, playable locomotive substitutions for both freight and passenger services are available for players with additional content in their collection, such as, for example, the Railpool Vectron locomotive and the Press BR155, among many, many more. There will be a selection of 5 scenarios, with 3 additional scenarios available for those with the DBBR 294. The mastery challenges are also included, requiring you to perform certain tasks on the route, so you could unlock the rewards. Tier 1 unlocks posters that can be seen throughout the route, and Tier 2 unlocks a toggleable scenery tile. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the comments below on the not so new but kind of new at the same time Bahnstrecke Leipzig to Dresden route. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button below, and if you are watching for the first time, be it live or on playback, then I'd appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.